Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new series in Planet Coaster 2. Today we're going to start building our Space Age theme park, Mod Pod Springs. So get comfortable and join me as we build this park together. This park is heavily inspired by 60s Space Age, kind of retro atomic style. I would describe it as any of the following: Googie architecture, retro atomic, Space Age, futuristic, 60s, 60s futuristic, Jetsons.
Bus, club, another club.
These are just a few of the references I think are related to this particular theme park. I've been pulling together some pictures onto a Pinterest board for a little while, and I'm going to put a few of them on the screen so we have a little vision board to reference while we work on Mod Pod Springs. You know, I've been toying back and forth with how much of this park should be grounded in reality, because obviously there are some very real-world elements I can pull from, like Palm Springs, Googie, mid-century modern. But on the other hand, we can go a little more imaginative, and this park doesn't necessarily even have to live on Earth. It can be on a different planet. It doesn't have to be grounded in reality. But what do you guys think?
I mean, let me ask the audience.
Like, how realistic do you think we should make this park? Also, you guys are going to have to excuse my voice because I literally got sick 3 weeks ago and I'm still coughing now. Like, it's been quite nearly 3 weeks and my voice still sounds like shit. I really like this rocket fountain. It's actually the first thing that I built for this park. I think it's the right mix of cartoony, but it also feels somewhat realistic to produce. I just like how fun this looks. And I also really like that it's the first thing that you see when you enter the park. I think it sets a good visual for what you can expect the rest of the park to look like. Also, this is kind of unrelated, but when I was building this, I kept thinking about this old Wallace and Gromit cartoon where they build an orange rocket. And now we're using the pathing tool to lay out the foundation. I struggle a little bit actually putting this plaza together. This is the second time I've attempted this park, because my original version of this park, everything was squished together so tightly, there was just no breathing room. And I feel like I struggle a little bit with that in Planet Coaster 2, just sort of allocating the right amount of space for landmarks and attractions. Definitely gonna have to keep that in mind as we keep working on this park. I just gotta make sure I give everything a little bit of breathing room. I really like this building hack. It's to use a moving platform. I think it's a rotational platform. And then at the very last toggle, you can actually turn on symmetry. And that way, I only have to do half the work. Or I guess it'll double it for me onto the other side. I'm very lazy, so if I can take a shortcut anywhere, I'm gonna take that shortcut. Also, looking back at these shrubs, I mean, I thought I was doing something with those pyramids in the center, but it's kind of giving Illuminati, so I might change that. I'm picking out some palm trees to add to this park. I think it should feel like Palm Springs, loosely. Obviously, like we can put in other plants, and I even had a thought about this park being on an alien planet, so maybe the foliage that's here isn't gonna look native to Earth because it's, you know, on an alien planet. I mean, why not, right? Anything's possible.
Anything can happen.
Anything. Not to mention with liners, you can totally change the color of a lipstick.
You absolutely can.
I'll f***ing beat the out of you.
I don't know why I picked all these plants to be purple. You know, in real life, I don't love the scent of lavender, but maybe subconsciously, I was thinking about like Avatar or something. So in the background, you can see an earlier version of the gate that I'm working on right now, which had art pieces overlapping on top of itself like 40 times. But then I found these plastic pieces in the Toy Box DLC, and I like that they're cartoony looking and they're kind of like larger bricks. And I don't mind that they have seam lines. I think it adds a little bit of visual interest. So I'd rather use these pieces Not just from a design standpoint, but also because it's fewer pieces to overlap. So it's just a little more optimized to have a gate with fewer pieces repeating in a scenery group versus that gate in the back has maybe double or triple the amount of pieces, so that can obviously bloat the game. I haven't had any issues running this game so far with lag, but I think it's good to just be prepared, just in case. I like using force perspective in Planet Coaster. It's just this cool trick where the higher up you go on a building, you actually make it smaller. And that way you can trick the eye into thinking that whatever you're building is much taller than it actually is. It's a cool visual trick. I'm new to YouTubing and like making videos in general, but I'm having a lot of fun doing this, so let me know what you guys think and what you guys like to see. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this process. I'm having a lot of fun. Those wall pieces I'm using in between the pink poles over there, they're palette pieces from the Toy Box DLC. I actually really like the Toy Box DLC for all of the building elements that we got from it, because you can use them in different ways that are different from their intended purpose. Yeah, and this is a nice way to add some texture to a wall without having to build the actual texture itself. On these two turrets, that's what I'm calling them, the two circle buildings at the ends of the gate. One of them is going to be a bathroom, and then the other one's guest services. Oh, and then another thing I'm doing here is I liked having the ramps going towards the center, but I also wanted some stairs as an option, so we've got both. We've got stairs and we've got ramp leading into that central rocket fountain. But yeah, this is my second attempt at designing Mod Pod Springs. I might share some clips of what the old version of this park looked like, but I will tell you it was a hot mess. So I'm much happier with this new version of Mod Pod Springs. I guess I did change those Illuminati shrubs, but now they look like the Sims diamonds, so I don't know if that's much better. So now we're designing a decorative building. This one doesn't hold any facilities, but it's just meant to be something that takes up some space on the map. And it looks like a functional building, though it's not. These aquatic metal walls, they make a funny noise when you place them down. They make like a clanking sound.
Clang, clang, clang went the trolley.
I like that clank. I like the pink and blue together as a color scheme. Originally, in my first version of this park, I used much deeper colors, like purple and deep green, and I don't think it was successful. It was taking me out of the vibe. This building shape kind of reminds me of a turtle. I feel like when I play Planet Coaster, I'm never actually building any coasters or any rides. I'm spending most of my time in the game just making buildings or scenery pieces. I guess there's not really a wrong way to play the game. This is just how I like to play the game. Yeah, I don't really know what the thought process was here. I'm just doing a bunch of bullshit, but I kind of like it. It came out cool to have that wall trim. How do you guys like to play Planet Coaster? Do you like to spend most of your time building coasters, dark rides, or are you like me and you spend all your time doing theming? Right now I'm doing a technique where I build a set of walls. So I had a version that was curved in the center, then I have a version where it's curved on just one side. And then what I can do with these pieces is I can use them as a modular building system. This is kind of a cool building that I had made in the previous version of Mod Pod Springs. I had made this like set of buildings that were all orange, but I really liked how they came out because they looked like real buildings. It's just I made them in orange and white, and that just sort of amplified its futuristic feeling, I guess. So Tomorrowland would probably be the closest real-world example I could use as a reference. But in the 60s, there was a theme park in the Bronx.
In the middle of the Bronx, in the middle of the projects, in the middle of the night.
It's called Freedomland. And there was a section of the park called Satellite City, which, although it doesn't exist anymore, I do think it would be a very good real-world approximation for what Mod Pod Springs is all about. But yeah, shout out to the Bronx.
And we from the same place.
The Bronx?
The world.
All right now. I love
Listen.
you.
And rest in peace to Freedomland.
Clang, clang, clang.
This ticket booth is very heavily inspired by the Hollywood Studios ticket booth and gate.
Clang, clang, clang.
Put in 3 ticket gates, but I never actually know what a good number of gates is for a main entrance. In the previous version of this build, I think I also had 3 ticket gates. It was 1 in the center and 2 on the sides. I'm using staff paths over here to connect to those buildings, and I think there's only one option for staff pathing designs. It's that hexagon path, but I actually really like it. I think it fits the theme here, so I just made it gray and I thought it felt in place. Here I'm doing that same technique of building modular walls. And then that way I can create buildings as long way or as wide as I need. And I actually use these walls as the base for a gift shop that I'm putting in near the entrance. Thank you for watching this video, by the way, if you've made it this far. I really appreciate it. And, please leave a like or a comment or maybe subscribe if you'd like. But yeah, I'm really excited for this series. I think... Well, I've got something kind of fun planned for the second part. I don't want to give away too many details, but we are going to be building a restaurant in this theme park. So stay tuned for part 2 that's coming out soon. Side note, orange is my favorite color, so I try to sneak it in whenever I can. Even if it doesn't always make sense. I mean, I like orange, so I'm going to put orange wherever I can. This is an easy way to build circular buildings. You use the rotational moving platform, and at the very last toggle, you can actually turn on symmetry. Now, an object can go up to 12 times around the center of symmetry, but you can always duplicate your objects and move them around if you need more than 12 instances. I like the idea of a soda counter being integrated into this building. So I made that little protruding wall section, and then I used some of these curved walls. This kind of felt like a fun interpretation of a Googie style building with all of the curved walls and the curved architecture. But yeah, I like how this came out. I still have plenty of decorating to do and plenty of theming elements to incorporate, but yeah, I like the overall structure. You know, Googie buildings tend to be very circular and organic shapes, which they don't lend themselves easily to Planet Coaster's building mechanics. But I think using a combination of that rotational platform symmetry hack and just some modular building systems like that curved wall, I think I'll be able to execute it without, going crazy.
Clang, clang, clang.
This is another piece of the previous version of this park that was salvaged. I guess you could say this is a satellite tower. You see, even now, just looking back at this footage, I'm realizing this little satellite tower, I don't think I gave it enough breathing room, so I may revisit this and just open up the spacing a little bit. Because especially when you go into eye level, or like first person view, walking around the park, it definitely feels like this is a little too squished. I just made some custom railing. I like the auto railing that you can get with the pathing tool, but sometimes it feels a little short, especially when you're looking at it compared to the people. Sometimes the auto railings can just feel a little small, just a little dinky. So, yeah. While I was putting in the foliage, I had a thought about putting in these decorative lampposts. They kind of feel like Saturn's rings. I like that they feel somewhat atomic and vintage. I don't know if they would have a practical use if they actually are satellite beacons or if they're just decorative lampposts, but it's nice to have these instead of just relying on the trees for tall decoration. It can break up the park just a little bit, and yeah, it's cool that they rotate at different speeds and in different directions too. But yeah, we're coming up towards the end of the video, so I want to say thank you for watching. Please think about leaving a like or a comment, or maybe subscribe if you'd like to. I always appreciate your comments and what you guys think and what you guys would like to see next. This was episode 1 of Mod Pod Springs, and I'm hoping that very soon you guys will see part 2, because I've got something kind of funny planned for it. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.